This is a Fineline automation 4x4 router. Thing took a long time to build, still not done. Still got to put the table bed on it. Guess I'll go out and get that stuff tomorrow. But it's a typical VFD eBay spindle combo, 2.2 kilohertz, tool blast air / cooling. Had a little problems with this, but won't go into that. Was able to mount all the proximity sensors. Only needed 3 of them really. So they're traveling. It's the home-built controller by me. It's a water cooling setup for the spindle. Typical computer stuff. MCP 655 pump, bits power 120, reservoir, and then just a radiator, the cheapest one I could find. If you put one of these in, keep in mind those are G1/4 threads, so you're not going to go to your hardware store to find the fittings for it. But if you use the computer fittings, you can make many different angles and keep things neat. This monitor. Originally I was going to build a table for it. I decided to keep everything on the table since I'm going to be doing standing anyway, and I need to monitor that. I don't want to be on the other side over here running files or anything like that, and then have to jump up and run around. So I mounted the monitor on the side of the table. It's a gas strut type deal, so you can move the monitor wherever you want it. It's a typical, note again, eBay MPG, manual pulse generator. Still got to set macros up and things like that, but Home Zero and things like that seem to work right out of the box. Load a couple files in there and good to go. Mounted the air tool switch here along with the Auto Tool Zero. Made my own. Could have bought one, but if I can make it 50 cents. Just plug that in. Works great. This air is off unless I want it on, but it still runs through the relay and the VFD along with the water cooling. So when the spindle comes on, the water cooler comes on, and then you hit that switch there, and then the air pressure comes on up here. Move around to the other side here. It's the regulator for the air pressure. Drag chains. Fineline automation doesn't have a chain for the kit, so I got this from CNC router parts. I had to do a little bit of modification to make it work, but worked out good. There were some problems with this machine itself. I did do a few minor mods. If anybody's interested in things that I went through to put this machine together, could probably make another video and explain them. Fineline Automation does do a good job as far as assembly videos, but it's for their 2x4, not the 4x4. So there are a few differences, such as this drag chain. I ended up cutting that. It was supposed to come out all the way to here, but in order to do that, I had to remove this structural bracket on both sides. I didn't want to do that, so I just cut it and made it fit. So it actually worked out pretty good. You should probably do that rather than removing these. Should probably give you the option, you know, but it's easy to do yourself, not a big deal. The computer's just sitting down here on the table underneath itself. Still a bunch of junk under here from assembly. Still got more to do. Here's the back side of the water cooler, wiring, pump, power strip. Box here is a junction box for all the proximity sensors, e-stops, and things of that nature, so they're easily accessible through here. Then I just took another one of those boxes, put a receptacle in there, went to good old Harbor Freight, got a 12 gauge 25-foot extension cord and cut the end off of it. Almost made me feel bad about dissecting it like that, but all I needed was the cord itself, and it was cheaper than going through and buying cord and then another end. I wanted to mold it in. I didn't want to have to deal with it. These are rails here that were screwed up from Fineline. Or actually I should say probably UPS. But anyway, he sent me some more, so that's just scrap. I'll either cut it up or figure something out to do with it. The back side here, we'll get in here a little bit. Just the back side of the controller. You see the fan there. I had to put that fan in there. This thing, I thought the vent holes in the top of the box here were going to be sufficient, along with the fans on the power supplies, and I got another fan running on the stepper drivers, but this thing was getting hot. It was getting warm. You could feel it. So as an afterthought, I should have done that before I put that thing together, and I should have cut the hole. It took me forever to get that hole cut through there. You know, with the wiring, I didn't want to disassemble the thing, and well, I guess that's a lesson learned. Not sure if there's a reason to really fire this thing up, but I guess I will. There's plenty of videos out there that you can watch. So it's all the same old thing. Let's start this at 7200. There's a spindle running. And right now you'll hear the solenoid click for the air. You hear that? So that's, if I don't want it on, I turn that off. It's powered through here. If the spindle's not on, and I wanted to maybe adjust my air pressure or whatever before I got everything running. I could just turn that on and hit this switch here. Turns the pump on and powers this. And turn it off. This does have an RS-485 in the box itself. I just got a double header USB plug to plug. When I was building it, cut the hole in it, so it is plugged in this box. It's not mounted in the VFD itself. A lot of RF frequencies in there. This machine took a long time to build. It's been over a year. Probably spent more time out here than I do anywhere else, at least for the past. When I finally decided I needed to get this thing together, it was sitting on the floor in the way for 6 months. But first thing I built was this box, and then I had to build a table. Fineline does not provide a table. There's no leg kits, nothing for this. You're gonna have to build your own, come up with something for yourself. So that took a while. All the wiring, I made all my own harnesses. Ugra for this shielded spindle wire. I recommend you go through them. It fits perfectly inside of this this plug. You can't get this at Home Depot or anywhere else. You're gonna have to order it, and their price is very good. So I had to wait a while on that. They were out of stock on it. Took a while to get that. Again, the proximity sensors. Originally I had these are NPN. I wish I couldn't get the PNP to work. I guess I'm dumb or something. After I looked at the wiring, but I'm not willing to pull them out at this point. I may do it at some time, but I'd have to pull the harnesses out and all the way through the machine to rewire them. So right now they're NPN. They work fine. I would like active high rather than low. They say it's safer, but additionally, stop there. In addition to here, this one always seems to, when I was cycling through this machine, it always seemed to, I couldn't get to this one fast enough. So I could put another one over here, really not a reason on the back, because this is pushed up against the wall. This is on rollers, so it's mobile. Garage is pretty big, but this is a big machine. So if you're thinking about getting this 4x4, count on 75 inches going across this axis here, which is the Y, I believe. And then the X-axis, which is a shorter back and forth. You can plan on 62 for that. So if you don't have a big garage, or you're crimped on space, you might not want to get this machine. You might want to, stick with the 2x4. It's bigger than I thought. I originally had the 2x4 on order, ended up getting the 4x4, and I was like, wow, I got room for that. But when you're with a tape measure, you're not really thinking. But this takes up a lot of real estate here, a whole lot of real estate. And my garage is pretty good size, and I got a lot of junk in here. That's my problem. If I clean all the junk out, I guess it'll probably be better. Just jog this around a little bit. I'll use the keyboard. MPG does work. I'll turn it on. So And all this is reflected on here, and the screen up here, they move in conjunction with each other. And hit the Z. So that's about it. It's a 220 plug. Lucky I had a gas dryer, so I was able to use that for this VFD. It would have been a mess otherwise. You can't get 110s, but apparently they get really hot, so 220 is pretty much the standard way to go on these. Auto zero works. We'll go ahead and auto zero it. You'll have to excuse this video. It's doing it with my phone. That's all I have. Spent all my money on this thing. Still spending it. Still not done. But if anybody's interested in how I wired it, some ideas, problems I had assembling this machine, and I'll probably post another video once I get the table bed put on and the T-tracks. And if anybody's interested in what I had to go through to get this thing together, I can explain that. If you need any assistance on how to wire the DB25 or the 542 drivers, you know, the typical combo eBay thing that everybody orders. It's pretty straightforward, but it's not straightforward when you're looking at what they have for schematics, and the English is horrible. It took me many YouTube visits for wiring, VFD setup, wiring of this controller. But now, you know, in hindsight, it's simple, or it seems simple. And then the typical, I think there are 9-pin connectors. I only use 4 of them, but everybody sells them computer router part, or computer CNC router parts. Everybody sells these same cheesy connectors that if you're doing your own harnesses, you're going to need them. You don't have to order them from them. You can get them from anywhere. So that's about it. Like I said, it's a big machine. So that rattling you hear in here, that's one thing I don't. You hear that? There's all thread going through here that auto square this. Hopefully when I put the bed on here, it's going to squash that, but if I had known it was going to do that from the get-go, that's one of those things I was talking about. I would have wrapped those in something so they don't rattle like that. That like drives me nuts. But you know, once this thing's running, probably not going to hear it anyway. So all the noise and cuttings, but maybe one day I might do something about it. But at this point, you know, I'm not really worried about it. So I hope everybody likes this. If anybody wants to see any additional videos or you have questions, let me know, and we'll probably make another one. Thanks for watching.